Hi everyone, my name is Joy Benedio. Welcome to another session on this channel. If you feel like you have not gone far in life, or you feel like you are not getting the results that you desire out of life, then stay tuned because this video is for you. Now, there are loads and loads of inspirational story out there. Stories of people's journey, how they started, what they did, and how they got to where they currently are. These stories are usually very inspiring. They motivate us to want to do more or to continue at the good that we are doing, or maybe to start a new course. They trigger so many positive emotions and ideas in us. Interestingly, there are also negative emotions that these inspiring stories trigger in us that a lot of people are not paying attention to. It is the feeling or thought that you have not gone far in life, you are not doing enough, or you are not where you want to be. We experience this in different levels. So for someone who came to Christ at age 35, might see a person who is 24 and doing amazing in their Christian faith, and while you are wowed and you appreciate the amazing work that you are doing, but somewhere in your mind you are feeling like you've wasted time and you haven't done so much in life. Another person might have been a Christian all their lives, but yet they feel like they are not moving at the speed that they want because they feel they do not have the result to show for it. Another person might be like, am I even in the will of God for my life? Like, what am I even doing with my life? Different case, different scenarios, different circumstances, etc. Now, there are vital questions that we would need to ask, and these questions are: how far am I really supposed to go in life? Or by what standard would the term far be defined? How do we even define or determine speed in the Christian journey? How am I even sure I am walking in the will of God for my life? Or how do I even know what the will of God is? When we look at the Bible, we see the life of different people lived under different circumstances, got saved or called at different times in their lives, or with different areas of calling, achieved different results, etc. For example, Joseph, he was the favorite of his father. He had a dream of a bright future, shared it with his brothers or his family, and then got sold into slavery. Got to Egypt, served Potiphar's household well, no record of sin, yet he suffered so much like a criminal in the prison. Meanwhile, while we're drawing life lessons from these characters in the Bible, it is important for us to know that many of them are a foreshadow of Jesus, because they were pointing to what Jesus will and has done. So you know how Joseph's story ended in victory, but all of this took years of situations that Joseph probably had no understanding of why they were happening, because from his own end he was pious, he was prudent, he had integrity, name it. Paul's early life was the opposite of Joseph's. In fact, the first time Paul's name was mentioned, which is also Saul, in the book of Acts, was in a persecution scene where Stephen was being stoned to death for preaching the word of God. The Bible records that the guys who were stoning Stephen took off their coats and kept it at the feet of Paul. I guess so that they will be able to freely aim at the part of the guy's body where the thing will enter well, like his head. So Paul was the guy that was helping them mount guard as per men mount, giving them ginger. Some theologians actually say that Paul was the first guy to throw the stone and then gave room to the other guys to finish the job. This same Paul was on his way to Damascus to scatter the believers when he had an encounter with Jesus, and then everything changed. Guess who wrote Romans, 1 Corinthians, 2 Corinthians, Galatians, Ephesians, Philippians, Philemon, 1 Thessalonians, 2 Thessalonians, Colossians, 1 Timothy, 2 Timothy, Titus? Guess who wrote all of those books? Thank God, God no be man, oh. I say for red, oh. These books that Brother Paul wrote are part of the Word of God. God inspired his thoughts through this through this guy. Moses is another amazing story, and there is a lot of them in the Bible. So what if at the point where Paul encountered Jesus, all he did was sit somewhere and wallow in self-pity and regret for all the wrongs that he had done? How that while the apostles were busy going about the call of God for their life, he was also busy persecuting them or doing something else? What if he said that others had gone far in their Christian life, but it is too late for him, and he has not done much in life, and so he cannot go far? What if Joseph had said, look, all these believers I'm seeing around, no one gets integrity reach me. I don't even think they serve God as much as I do, yet I am not where I am supposed to be. What if he says, the dream I had, I can't even smell the manifestation, talk less of seeing it? What if he said, I'm not seeing the results I want to see, and then he gives up, or he starts to have pressure or depression? Mind you, the time between when he had the dream and when he became prime minister was over 20 years. That's why the kinds of questions that we asked earlier is important. How far am I really supposed to go in life? By what standard would the term far be defined? How do we determine and define speed in our Christian journey? How would I be sure that I am walking in the will of God for my life? Or how would I even know what the will of God is for my life? Well, the answer is in the Word of God. None of those guys saw the entire picture. Joseph saw a part of it, but he didn't know what the other details were. For Paul, he never saw it coming. But from the day he began to walk with the details in the Word of God, that day he went on track. After his encounter with Jesus, it is said that Paul was away for 3 years learning the scriptures, and by the time he came back out, it was like back on track or back online. There was persecution, but he was always online with the will of God. So the lesson here is that we should always stay with the Word of God, because once you are online with the Word of God, regardless of where you are at the moment, the level, the age, the circumstances, the result you are seeing, once you are within the confines of the Word of God, you are always on track. You are adapting the right standard. Your speed is accurate. So within the confines of the Word of God, you might not have the whole picture. You might not even understand the situations of things. But once you are online with the Word of God, then you are on the right track. So when next you feel that pressure or that emotion that you have not gone far in life, you are not doing enough, you are not seeing or getting the results that you want because of what you are seeing from the life of other people, please calm down. Just check that you are online with the Word of God, and if you are, then you are on track. But if you are not, then please return back to track. I hope this message has been a blessing to you. Do not forget to like, subscribe, and share this video so that when we post another one, you will get a notification. And please drop the lessons that you have learned or the lessons that have been inspired in your heart in the comment section. God bless you.